Hello, George. God bless you. I wish the Lord will continue to pour out blessings on you and your family.
November 2014, Robbie came to me while I was working at the church, and he said, "Hey man, let's go to lunch today. I got something I want to talk with you about." So we went to lunch, and he started telling me about this organization called Compassion International. I'd never heard of it or didn't know anything about it. So he was telling me about it over lunch, and by the time that him and I talked for an hour, I was well on board with it. My wife and I, we sponsor a couple of other charities, but with this, we felt like it was more one-on-one. You're actually sponsoring a child, and you have interaction with that child. You get letters from her or him, and you can see where your money is actually going.
I like rice, beans, meat, and mango with salami. I also like fruit and to spend time playing with my little brother.
We was at Fireside Life Group on Thursday nights, and Pastor Doug and Pastor Sam said, "Hey, the Compassion Experience is going to be at Crossroads Church this weekend, and we'd really like to go." So that afternoon, that Saturday afternoon, we went over there, and it was kind of a jovial mood in the truck on the ride over there. There was 5 of us, I think. And we went through this, and we saw that the conditions that these people live in are just deplorable. I'd never seen anything like that before. On the ride back to the church after we were done was just, heads were held low, and it felt like somebody hit me in the chest with a sledgehammer, just to see that the conditions that these people live in are so bad. So that's when I went home and I told my wife about it, and we decided that we wanted to sponsor a child. And on Compassion Sunday, that's what we did. When we got the information about our little girl that we sponsored, we found out that she lived in a village in San Luis, Dominican Republic. Very poor area, drug infested. A lot of the kids get sold into prostitution. They get put out in the sex trade, and it's almost like the parents encourage this because they don't have any other alternative. So we thought that if we could just sponsor one child and change her life and make things better for her, then we've done our job through Jesus. We got our first letter from our child in, I want to say it was March or April of this year. And I sat down and I read this, and it just broke me down. It tore me apart that we were going to make such an incredible difference in this child's life. This child may grow up to be a pastor, a minister, may lead thousands of people to Christ. Or she may be a nurse, she may be a doctor, she may be a dentist, a school teacher. Knowing that we've given her hope and that she can grow up and make a difference in somebody else's life is what's really gratifying.
My favorite colors are yellow and pink. I am having fun this weekend because I am sharing time with my family.
A kid growing up here in the United States, you may be poor, but there's a difference between being poor and living in poverty. Being poor is maybe you don't get enough that you want to eat, whereas over there, you don't get anything to eat. You don't know where your next meal's coming from. And the difference with Compassion International is that they actually give food, they give education, and they give hope to these kids that otherwise they don't have anything. In 2016, my wife and I have made the commitment that we're going to try to sponsor a second child. We'd like to stay in the same geographical area, down around the Dominican, but we feel like that is something that God has put upon our hearts to do. When you become a Christian, you want to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And for me, this is going to be my bread and butter. This is what I want to do. I know Pastor Robbie said that we have about 200 families right now that are making a difference in a child's life somewhere in the world. And that's huge. So if we could just get 300 families, that's 300 kids that will make the difference of living in poverty or living with hope.
I want to thank God for you and your wife. I also ask you to pray for my family as I say goodbye with love. Angeley, Sierra Gonzalez.